Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Tyler Merkovich with Emery Hunt, who is the czar of the playbook, bringing you Week 3 coverage of the NFL season. Washington at Detroit. Detroit still looking for that first win since '07. Washington comes in here 1-1, surviving that game against St. Louis at home. And I think they need to, they only have 54 rush attempts. I think they need to run the ball more to set up the pass. And Portis, they only have one run over 20 yards. They need to run Portis more, but there's a catch-22. You want to keep him healthy because he wore down last year. So it's catch-22. Betts needs to get in there. Their O-line is key here. How can Washington avoid the misery loss to the Lions?
Keys to victory for Washington on defense. You want to make Stafford make quick decisions. If Stafford has time to sit back there, he has a strong enough arm to hit Calvin Johnson deep. You want to rush his decision making because he is inaccurate and he can be erratic with the football.
51% completion rating.
And 5 interceptions and 1 touchdown. He threw his first touchdown last week. So make him make quick decisions. Also, you want to attack the perimeter defense of Detroit. Detroit can be susceptible to outside runs as well as quickness on the outside. So especially with the way Washington spreads out their defense, your defense with those 4 wide receiver sets, Cooley outflanked. That means you have to walk a linebacker out to cover Cooley. Spread Detroit out, attack them on the perimeter. They should have no problem with Detroit.
Stafford needs to erase that erraticness, if that's even a word, from his game. He needs to be more consistent. Consistency is key. But the Lions secondary has been getting torched. Favre and Breeze, the opponent's quarterback, over 80% completion rating. Absolutely torched. It's like something like 12 incomplete passes out of like 60-something throws, which is ridiculous. Kevin Smith only 2.5 yards per carry. He's a good runner. He really needs to step it up behind that O-line. The O-line really needs to produce. Is there any way the Lions finally get their first win in a year and a half?
The Lions can cause some problems for that Washington team, especially playing them now. It's not about who you play, it's when you play them. The keys to victory for the Lions, number one, they want to keep working Brandon Pettigrew into the offense. He is an outstanding tight end. Keep him involved more in the passing game because if not, teams are just going to double team Calvin Johnson. Get Pettigrew more involved in the game. They did a lot of that last week, which is why they jumped out to that early lead, kept teams off balance. Also, Grady Jackson has to be huge this game. The interior offensive line of Washington Redskins is going to be without Randy Thomas, the guard, and that's right over where Grady Jackson plays. They're going to have to get pushed up the middle to disrupt Jason Campbell's timing. He wants to hit the ball intermediate to deep down the field. So you get pressure up the middle, you're going to disrupt that timing throughout the game. Also, they have to convert on third downs. The Lions convert 25% on third downs. 29%, I'm sorry. That is atrocious. That can't happen in the NFL. You have to keep chains moving, especially if you have a young rookie quarterback. I like Washington in this game.
Well, Washington played at Detroit last year. Detroit's got some experience to get them. Let's call for it. Why not? Let's go for Detroit. I don't think Washington is that good. Don't have my faith in Jim Zorn. Let's take Detroit with the upset here.
If we wasn't inside of a studio, I would clearly take 3 steps away from you because lightning would strike you down. There's no way Detroit is going to beat Washington with that.
They had to play some promise. They played pretty well early. Sustain it. Washington is not playing very well right now. We know what St. Louis did to them. St. Louis scared them. St. Louis could do it. Why not Detroit at home? Last year they played them. It was kind of close, but Detroit's a different team. Hey, they got to win sometime, right?
Close only counts in horseshoes and grenades.
For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.